Welcome to Mind Body Monday, and thank you all for joining me. In today's session, you're going to learn the one master key for a successful fast. I'm going to share with you 4 benefits of fasting that will help you stay on track. And then I'm going to share with you my 8 best or favorite practices to make fasting so much easier. And then I'm going to end off with 1 mistake to avoid when you break your fast at the other end. And if you're still with me, you'll be able to ask me live your questions and get some answers, hopefully, at the end of today's session. Welcome. If you're new here, my name is Avraham Gundle. I'm the founder and director for the Center for Integrated Medicine. And over the last 30 years in private practice, I've been privileged to help many people heal from a wide range of conditions, ranging from chronic gut issues, anxiety, autoimmune conditions, diabetes, skin issues, etc. I practice functional and integrated medicine, and that way I get the privilege of looking at the whole person, mind, body, emotions, and soul. So let's get started. Let's be honest for a moment. When you think of fasting, especially Yom Kippur coming up tomorrow night, and we will be in it this time tomorrow, especially when you think of a 24-hour fast, what comes to mind? What emotions or thoughts come to mind? Go ahead, type a thought or an emotion that comes to mind when you think of fasting for 25 hours. Type in the chat what emotions come up, what thoughts come up when you think of fasting. That's right, a bit worried. Thank you. Some of my patients have told me fear, dread, anxiety. How am I going to manage with the kids? Overwhelm, concerns like, will I make it through? Someone's posted in the chat, anxiety, fear, correct. I might get dehydrated and won't feel well. You're right. Will I make it through? How am I going to manage with a migraine or a headache and have to manage the kids as well, or just survive the day? Knowing I'll likely get a migraine headache that someone else has written in the chat. There are tricks and tips to avoid all of this, and bring that up in the question and answer session towards the end. I want to just break the truth to you. This does not need to be the case. A friend of mine once told me about the principle of the 7 Ps. Proper, prior planning prevents pitiful, poor performance. Quite a mouthful, right? And it's not too late to plan. Many of my patients who have followed these simple steps that I'm going to share with you have gone from spending most of the day in bed, feeling awful, weak, tired, migraine, headachy, to, wow, this has honestly been the best Yom Kippur of my life. I had great energy, felt calm, and could focus on my davening and the kids. So just before we jump into our topic for today, I just want to share with you a quick promo. So bear with me for a moment. I want to announce a new program that I'm very excited to be launching next month. It's the Heal Your Gut program. You see, in the weekly Mind Body Mondays, I go into gut health really as a main focus and how this relates to your mood, your immune system, your energy levels, your health and well-being in general. But in the Heal Your Gut program, I take a deep dive into how to heal chronic gut issues and immune issues from the inside out. It's an 8-week online intensive journey. It's fun, it's interactive, it's super practical with a lovely community. You get to invest in yourself, get my guidance in a supportive environment. You'll know exactly what foods to eat, what foods to avoid, and avoid the fear that comes along with really not knowing. You're going to learn some amazing strategies to calm your mind, settle your emotions, so your body can begin to heal for good. And you're going to learn how to manage flare-ups and obviously avoid them in the first place. So if you think this is for you, go ahead and just type gut health in the chat, and I'll come back to you with more information. If you want quicker results, get your biggest questions answered, get my personal guidance, then this could be the program for you. Go ahead, type gut health in the chat, and I'll come back to you afterwards. So let's get back to our topic, how to best prepare for the fast. And the one key strategy that will really make the day. And all change and all awareness begins in the mind. We say begin with the end in mind, don't we? These are 3 personal reminders that I remind myself, and it helps me stay the course in an upbeat, focused way. Number 1, remember that Jews have been fasting for thousands of years, and we are here to tell the tale. Just know that you are going to be fine. The second thing to remember is the privilege that we have to get to fast on Yom Kippur and the incredible gifts it brings. We tend to focus excessively on our personal discomforts instead of the tremendous privilege we have. One of the things I do, by the way, to train my body and train my mind to deal with discomfort. I know this is out of the box and it's somewhat radical, but I have a cold plunge pool at home. It is about 10 degrees Celsius, which is about 50 degrees Fahrenheit. It's very uncomfortably cold. And every morning I'm in this cold plunge pool, and it does not get easier. What this does, aside from the many, many health benefits that it has on the body, one of the most important benefits is also training the nervous system, the body, the mind to deal with adversity, to deal with discomfort. It's not for everybody, but it is one of the things that I've chosen to experiment with myself to give me the ability to handle the ups and downs, more likely the downs of what comes my way in life. And a fast like Yom Kippur could be quite challenging to most people, as you said in the chat in the beginning. It doesn't have to be that way. Once you begin to focus less on your personal discomfort and more on the benefits that are coming your way, and it really is a shift in mental focus. Now, aside from the awesome spiritual benefits that Yom Kippur offers us when you do it through fasting, and also for those of you who are not fasting, also are conferred, there are amazing physical benefits as well. And I want to run through 4 of the top ones, because when a person, if you're not feeling well and you have a migraine or you have a headache or you need to spend the day in bed, just know that you're getting all the benefits anyway, even though you're uncomfortable. And it's just par for the course. And proper preparation, you can avoid that completely. Maybe not all of it this year, but eventually, definitely you can. The first benefit is it really gives your digestive system a complete break. And stopping from eating is the quickest way to reset your gut and to give your body a head start in healing wherever that healing is needed. You see, digestion takes about 30 to 35% of our body's energy to process the foods we eat, even if we're eating healthy foods. So if there is inflammation or a disease process in the body, by stopping eating, you've got 35% or so more energy available to heal your body. Secondly, fasting boosts your immune system, and it detoxifies your body and kickstarts your metabolism. So these are amazing benefits that the fast will also bring to your body, even though you're uncomfortable. And lastly, the 4th benefit is it stimulates mitochondrial function. These are the energy powerhouses within every cell in our body, and that it helps to give us more energy. Maybe not that day, but certainly the next day or thereafter as you train in this. So the focusing on less on your personal discomfort and more on the spiritual and physical benefits is a good way to begin the fast, because if you do feel uncomfortable, you'll know that there are a lot of goodies coming down the pipeline your way. So today is Mind Body Monday, and we try and integrate the mind and the body. So let's go ahead and do a quick reset breathing technique. So go ahead, wherever you are, as long as you're not driving, don't close your eyes. Otherwise, if you want, you can. If you're not driving, that is. Take a nice, deep, cleansing breath in through your nose. Hold it at the top just for a moment. And as you breathe out through your mouth, drop your shoulders down. Feel your back against the back of the chair. And taking another nice, deep, gentle breath in through the nose again. Hold it at the top for a moment. And breathing out a long out breath through your mouth. Relax your shoulders. They tend to creep up around our ears. Relax your shoulders. Feel your back against your back of your chair. And just continue to breathe normally. Breathing slowly and deeply like this calms your mind because it brings more oxygen into your brain and it helps to relax your body. So if during the fast you found yourself feeling unwell, feeling weak, or feeling concerned, or a bout of anxiety, or you're just not feeling yourself, take a moment and do some slow, deep breathing, just as we did now. Let's look now at my 8 favorite practices for making your fast as easy as possible. If you have a pen and paper, this would be a good time to take some notes. So the first one, you can all guess, is to hydrate. That's right. And the rule of proper hydration, which most people get wrong, is like this. About half an ounce to 1 ounce of water per pound of body weight. So let me break that down for you. For example, if you weigh 150 pounds, that would be about 75 to 150 ounces of water a day. I'll translate that into kilograms. So if you are 68 kilograms, that would be about 2.2 liters a day, which is about 9 cups. That's the rule of thumb. What I do is I have my handy 32 ounce, 1 liter bottle of water with me. I carry it around during the day and I make sure to sip through the day. And for my body weight, I get through about 2 to 3 of those a day, especially that the fast is tomorrow. So I want to be more on the case of hydration and drinking that amount tomorrow. Sipping is best and not taking huge gulps down because the body can only process a certain amount at a time. Now, around meal times, the general rule of thumb is to hydrate up to about 20 minutes before your meal. Stop. That water can go through your system. And then when you get to eat, the extra water in the stomach is not there to dilute digestive juices. And after your meal, again, about 45 minutes, you can begin to hydrate again. Eating time is eating time. Drinking time is drinking time. And you can have maximum about a half a glass of water or 3/4 of a glass if you need at mealtime to help you salivate and chew your food. But eating time is not hydrating time. It's a big mistake people make. The second key point here in terms of making your fast as successful as possible is to introduce electrolytes into your water. Now, this comes as a result of a lot of my patients telling me, but I drink a lot and still feel very thirsty. Why is that? Now, one of the reasons, and there are a bunch of reasons, but one of the reasons is because the quality of the water they're drinking may be purified water, but it's lacking the proper balance of electrolytes. And what this means, electrolytes are basic essential minerals like potassium, like calcium, like magnesium that are naturally occurring in water. And when these aren't there or aren't there in the right balance, they affect the way the cells are able to absorb water. Now, what this means is what I technically do is I will take a pinch of the pink Himalayan salt or a natural sea salt, note here, not table salt, but the pink Himalayan sea salt or natural sea salt, pinch in a bottle of water, a liter of water, shake that up, and if you want a little squirt of lemon juice. What this does, it increases the mineral content of the water, and it decreases the surface tension of the water, so that way it can flow into your cells and hydrate you much, much more efficiently. Because the electrolytes are needed to keep the electrical spark of your cell going, the membrane potential. So if you're having pure water, more specifically water from a reverse osmosis system, then it is important to add some of these electrolytes back so that you'll get the advantage of a decreased surface tension so the water can flow easily into your cells. Okay, let's go on to number 3. Decrease caffeine. If you are a coffee or heavy tea drinker, it's best to pull back on caffeine. Ideally, 72 hours, 48 hours before, but still reducing caffeine will definitely reduce the likelihood of a migraine or a headache. And the same applies to dark chocolate as well, because research has shown that the #1 cause of headaches during fasting is going cold turkey on caffeine, i.e. stopping it suddenly before the fast. Let's look at point number 4. Increase dark green leafy vegetables. These are very high in water content and rich in soluble and insoluble fibers, and it helps that water move into your body, hydrate your cells very well, and support your digestion. So all vegetables are fantastic. High water content ones are even better, the green leafy vegetables, and also things like cucumbers, tomatoes, peppers, all colors, lettuce, kale, baby greens, kohlrabi. All these vegetables are fantastic. And I recommend people to have about 2 salads a day, in general 2 or 3, with at least 5 different vegetables. It doesn't have to be the hugest salad, but just a small nutrient-dense salad with different veggies, different colors that provide the body the nutrients it needs. But for the fast, you want high water content veggies. They're low in sugar, high in electrolytes as well, high in fiber. So those are those vegetables I mentioned. Let's talk about fruit for a moment as well. Obviously, fruit is delicious, succulent, especially in the season, also very high in water content. If a person does not have a glucose regulation issue or type 2 diabetes or etc., then having fruit away from your main meals is also a good idea. Things like melon or bananas or watermelon, apples are fantastic. Pears, apples contain a super amount of pectin, which is a soluble fiber, which again helps support the colon and helps the body absorb and keep that water in the system. Let's talk for a moment about point 5, which is carbohydrates. Now, at the meal before the fast, I generally recommend having a carbohydrate-rich kind of a food. That means avoid simple carbs, but things like complex carbs, such as a quality whole grain bread, like a sourdough bread, like spelt, or a sprouted bread, even better if you can. Whole grain is best. Avoid the white flours of all sorts, even though they have quality spelt bread. If it's, white spelt bread, it will still spike your sugar levels and not have the fiber your body needs to stay hydrated and support your health and well-being. So whole grains are fantastic, like the ones I mentioned. Brown rice is also great. Quinoa, buckwheat, these are high in protein, also vegetable sources. Hold water well in the body, full of soluble and insoluble fibers, which help your body manage the water. Then baked potatoes or sweet potatoes are also an option to add in that mix. For those of you who like legumes, then you can add those in, like aduki beans, lentils, or split peas. These are also great sources of fiber and hold water content very well. Now, it's best also to avoid salty foods, obviously, like fish that may be oversalted, like smoked salmon, things like that. But a light protein like a baked white fish or a chicken is fantastic as well. However, the ratio should be about 80% veg or 75 to 80% green leafy veg and about 20 to 25% protein. That way you'll have everything you need to go into the fast. Very important not to overeat at the last meal because that can have a reverse effect for different reasons of how insulin is managed in your body. For those of you who have a sweet tooth, and the best thing to end your meal with, if you want, is something like an apple or grapes or peaches or pears are a good option as well. Let's look at number 6. This is a key one if you can manage this. Get adequate sleep and rest. Aim for about 7 to 8 hours of sleep. Research has shown that it actually does so much for the body. Previous Mind Body Monday, I went into a great deep depth about sleep and the benefits, and it's the unsung hero for most of our ills today. So getting extra sleep is important. If you can't get those 7 to 8 hours, then even an extra 20 minutes to 40 minutes will make a big difference to calm and settle your body, heal your body, so you can go into the fast anxious, free, feeling calm and confident. I want to just talk about something practical as well in terms of clothing. I call it the layering up principle, especially the men who are in shul most of the day. Where I daven, they have 6 air conditioning, blowing, full blast. And when a person is not eating, they don't have the calories required to generate energy to heat the body. So it's very important if you're coming to shul and you're going to spend some time in shul, layer up, wear a shawl, a cardigan, a jacket, a scarf. You may look unusual, but what I do is under my kittel, I have some layers that I can easily put on or take off depending on how I'm doing, even though it may look somewhat strange, that this way I can keep my body warm and comfortable, and I can focus on what I'm meant to focus on in the day. Let's end off with point number 8 here. Coming back to focus. The focus is so important, to focus on the source that we know about, the awesomeness and the power of this day, that we have this incredible privilege to get to fast in Yom Kippur and all that it accomplishes. It provides that total spiritual purity afterwards and the joy that follows after Sukkot. So it's so important just to cast your mind whenever you're feeling uncomfortable on the benefits that you are gaining and gleaning as a result of just going through this 25-hour process. And as you learn to manage yourself and put the 7 Ps into practice, you'll go through each successive Yom Kippur feeling better and more confident in your ability to prepare and manage yourself in the best possible way. I want to end with one mistake to avoid when breaking your fast. The most important one is don't overeat. Eat mindfully as you re-enter into the world of eating once again. Remember, you've reset your body, your digestive system, your mitochondrial function, everything about your system for the last 25 hours. When you re-enter into the world of eating again, enter into it mindfully with awareness what you're doing. Rather eat less, and then you can always enjoy a more robust breakfast in the morning. How I personally break my fast is I start with a 6 to 8 ounce glass of water with some of those mineral salts. I wait about 20 minutes while I help prepare things at home. Then I'll sit down generally to a bowl of vegetable soup and some salad, and that's it. Then in the morning, I get to have breakfast the next day. If you prefer to have something else, that's fine. Add some protein, that's no problem. Whatever works for you. The key is not to overeat. So thanks again for joining me on Mind Body Monday. I'm going to open the mics to take some questions, and I look forward to seeing you at the next Mind Body Monday. In the meantime, I wish you a meaningful and successful fast on this Yom Kippur. Just remember that Mind Body Monday is all about self-care being the heart of healthcare. All you need to do is take one small step in the direction of health and healing to advance your health and well-being. See you next week.